right now. We're going live an extra second early. We went live 2 seconds early. I think I'm very impressed by that. I think I'm very proud of that right now. What's going on, New York Giants fans? This is Tim. Whoops, just got easier with StreamYard. What's going on? We already got Mike Lee in the room. We already got Big Blue Forever Sign Timmer. What's going on, Mike Lee? Mike Lee says, smash the like button on the way in. We got Big Blue Forever yelling out the phrase Timmer. You got free agency not wrapping up, but you got the first week of free agency kind of in the books. You got the moves that the Giants have made. I like the way you move. We picked up some signings. We picked up some things. We'll put the Giant logo back on there. There we go. Everyone can see the Giant logo. Actually, it's not sticking today. That's what she said. Wait.
That's what she said.
Sorry about that. We got, like I said, it's the moves that are being made are interesting. We'll say that. Look at that. We'll put the Giants logo right there. They're it's how do we say it? Well, we said it in the video before that Joe is kind of one of these guys that he usually says what he means. And he's been talking the fact that we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, we're building for the future, it's building blocks, and then he goes out and does certain things that kind of confound you a little bit, because it's like, well, these really aren't building block moves. These are kind of like moves to help you mature and move forward in 2023, which should be the game plan 100%. I mean, let's be honest. That should be your role. Your role should be always to win in 2023, and also to build the future at the same time. And I think the Giants are doing that. I think they're trying to do that. You have to like the Waller move. It's $11 million guaranteed, and Shane was astute enough to take that $11 million and turn around and convert it into signing bonus so he could create more cap space, because he already knew the $11 million was already guaranteed. $11 million is guaranteed no matter what you do. When there's no way we can get out of paying Walla Walla. I'm going to move the camera up a little bit here. There's no way we'll get us getting out of paying him either way. Oops, the camera's moving. No, we're having a problem here. You know what the problem is? I like it like that way now. The problem is the camera is on a rotating basis here. There we go. You know what? I don't know why I did that. That was dumb. That was dumb. Another Giant thing fell off. So it's one of those things that the Waller move was a good move, because the fact that not only did you get a player for a 3rd round pick, but you also built up on your salary cap because you were able to convert that money into signing. But let's go that way. See, the problem is this camulator is an oscillating camera. This is an oscillating camera here. So my camera is oscillating a little too much here. Come on, you stupid thing. Where was it? There we go. We'll do it that way so we can do it better that way. So it was a quality move. It was a smart move. You get a quality player, if healthy, that can turn around and basically help give Daniel Jones that cushion that you're looking for. Give Daniel Jones that safety net, if you want to say it that way. Whoopsie, we'll go that way. And now we're gonna say, watch you see. I should have did this. This is what I should have done. There we go. See, look at that. Oops. There we go. I'm playing with the oscillation of the camera. What's up, Natural Spring? What's going on? He says, we got everybody saying, Tim, what's going on? Jose G says, good morning, Tim and fellow Giant fans. Jose G also, what are your thoughts on bringing back Slayton? And after how long last season started? You know what's funny? I love Darius Slayton. I've said this before. I've said it a million times. I never understood why he was in the doghouse as much as he was with the Giants. I never got that. It never came to me. I never thought about it, because I thought he's not a number one. He's a solid number 2. And you need those solid number 2s and 3s on your team. And I never understood why they turned around and sat there and said that he didn't have a place on this team, because he had a body of work for 3 seasons before he fell off a little bit last year. Fell off a little bit the year prior. And the problem with that was the fact that I don't think it was all Darius Slayton's fault. And we did a whole video on it about the misconception of Darius Slayton, how he fell off the planet, but he didn't really fall off the planet. I don't remember what video it is, but we did it a while back. And if you want to go see the video, I'm happy he's back. He's at a manageable salary. It's a good pickup. You continue to build the continuity with the offense. I still think they're going to go wide receiver in the draft. I still think they're probably going to, if it's me, I'm trading out of the first round. I'm going into the upper part of the second round, only because of the fact that then I don't have to pay that. If I move 10 picks out from 25, let's say I even move 12, I'm saving X amount of money vis-a-vis the salary cap, because I'm not taking that first round hit. I'm going right into the second round. Now the trade-off is that you only get a 4-year contract. You don't get the 5th-year option. But the trade-off is for this year and the next year, the next couple of years, you could potentially get a guy you could have had in the first round early in the second round and pay him second round money. So that's what's up, Joseph Clark? How you doing this morning? Donnie C says, you were the only content creator to emphasize the importance of Darius Slayton last year before the season started. I did because, like I said, if you watched his career the first couple of years, Darius was a solid number two. But that 1 year, there was a big drop off, and it was a big drop off, and not only in quarterback play, but in his play. And there was a reason for that. And like I said, but people need to go back and watch that video. I forget the name of the video. Joe Rev says, buenos dias. Hola, Joe Rev. ¿Dónde está el baño, por favor? 2 cervezas. Joseph Clark agrees on Slayton. Of course you agree on Slayton. You're smart. Oh, my goodness. Let's see here. Slayton didn't fall off. The former coaching staff just stopped asking TJ to throw it deep. Well, and it's funny because that was part of the problem. And part of the problem Slayton was having this year as well was the fact that the coaching staff wasn't throwing deep. And I hope that if you're going to add Paris Campbell, you're going to have Darren Waller. You're going to keep Darius Slayton. You may potentially get a draft. You may potentially take a big time wide receiver in the draft, hopefully a big time wide receiver in the draft, that you open up the playbook, that you turn around and say, you know what, we got to throw the ball deep. We have to. And I've said this before. I'm going to say it again. There is a word in Webster's dictionary. There's a word, and it's called vertical. Look it up. It means you're allowed to throw the ball more than 6 yards or 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage. It's okay. You could throw it 30 yards downfield. It's really cool. I've seen teams do it. You could throw it all the way down as much as you possibly can. What's going on, Mark Thompson? How you doing? Good morning. It's been a long time, Mark. Where the hell you been? Well, you know what? It's partially my fault too, Mark. I haven't been sitting there doing the as much as pontificating as I probably should have. But you know what? It's all good. It's all good. Let's see. We got Mike Lee. What does Mike Lee have to say this morning? Mike Lee says, opening the playbook is fine, but DJ needs to see the man and throw the ball. You see them. It reminds me of Crash Davis. It reminds me of the scene in Crash Davis when Nuke is talking about, you throw the ball, hit the ball, you catch the ball. That's what it is. You see a man open, you throw them deep. We got Mr. Belford for some reason. Mr. Belford, for some reason, you're not coming up, but you're coming up on my other screen. It says, good morning, Tim. Johnny Wishbone reporting in. You know what? We have to, let's see, for you, Mr. Belford. I don't know why you're not coming up, Mr. Belford. I really don't know why. I don't know why you're not coming up. Try putting in another message. Let's see if I can find that one for you. That's an old one. Here we go.
I'm Johnny Wishbone, psychic extraordinaire. If you need me, just think Johnny Wishbone and I come running. Lots and biddles. It's like kibbles and bits, but different. Excuse me.
That's for Mr. Belford, who is not for some reason coming up in my chat. We got Jeff Newman saying, we got the T-Brad saying, make sure you hit the like button as you enter the chat. Donnie C says, absolutely love Zane Flowers this year. Wish he was wish he was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller. Yeah, it would be nice. I wish I like Hyatt, and I wish that Hyatt was a little not so much of a string bean. And you talk about Devontae Smith, you take a look at his size, so we're coming from conspiracy angry, but no fruit, Mike Lee. What's wrong with you? The wide receivers in this class all have warts. Good or bad, for indifference, they all have some type of warts, and you got to kind of just build. You got to figure out which one is going to fit the team build here, and I think that's what we need to look at. Michael says, "I'm still recovering from considerable amount of sangria, but no fruit. How can you have sangria without fruit? You got to have the fruit, Mike Lee." Timothy says, "Hey Tim, the Giants traded 24th and the 24th first round and second round, 25th first round, second, but not the 25th pick." To the Lions for the 6th pick and select Carter overall from Georgia. Way too much. way too much to Carter. I know, and Carter's got some legal issues right now. I think he is going to serendipitously fall down the board a little bit. But he's got those legal issues at the moment, Timothy. So we have to kind of wait and see. We got Zach Tag dropping in the big old super chat saying Waller will have the most targets on the team in 2023. I agree. I think Waller's going to be like he was for Derek Carr when he had that 109 receptions, 3 years ago, going back on. I do think that he's going to be heavily influenced in this offense. And this is the only thing that concerns me. You're taking a guy who's on the wrong side of 30, who's come off 2 years of injuries. He's 2 years removed. He will technically be 3 years removed this season from his big season. And you're hoping that he is going to be the missing piece of the vertical part of this offense. That's a lot to wish for. That's a lot to hope for. And if I'm not saying he can't do it. I'm just saying that that's a lot of pressure to put on one guy. And I don't think signing Paris Campbell takes that pressure off. I don't think bringing back Darius Slayton takes that pressure off. What it does is you also hopefully will have Wan'Dale Robinson coming back sometime in the year. I'm just hoping it adds more pieces and it adds more. We are going to have a new world. We're going to call it. Hopefully, it'll have more verticalization. I don't know if that's really a word or not. I like making up words and sending them to Webster. So. Just joking. But we have to wait and see. Mike Lee said, "No, didn't eat the sangria fruit, but you knew what I meant. Of course, it was the red variety. I don't like red sangria. I like the clear sangria." T. Brad says, "I am grading a free agency a B+. I'm giving it right now a B. If you add in the Waller pickup, I'm calling it a B+. I like Bobby. I think he's a good pickup. I think, like I said, he's a good off the ball linebacker. 151 tackles. He's got nice speed, sideline to sideline. Has the ability to cover the running back and the tight end. You got Mr. Nacho. Everyone loves Nacho. I think everyone loves Nacho more because of his name and not because of what he did in Tampa. And he seems like a really nice guy. He's a depth piece. They're looking at the kid Robinson also, another defensive tackle. So that's gonna be curious. You make sure you hit the like button. We're up 24 likes. That's going to be an interesting dichotomy as well. What's really interesting right now is the Giants have about $3.5 million in cap space. But if you factor in the removal of the rule of 51, they're about $9.5 million negative in cap space. So that's going to be something to keep an eye on going through. And you have 5 players, I think, that tie up almost 41% of your, I think it was 38%. I don't remember. I did the math this morning, but I don't have my calculations here. They tied up almost 5 players that tie up almost 38% of your cap space. For a team that's a building team, that's a lot. That's a lot to have tied up in 5 guys. So we have to keep an eye on that. But like I said, I give it a B. Right now, if you put in the Waller trade, I give it a B+. But like I said, he's not done. He's not done. He's still moving. He's still shaking. He's doing his thing. Rick also has to say, still have Sterling Shepard. Let's not forget he needs to stay. Sterling Shepard hasn't stayed healthy in 3 years. I'm not counting on anything from Sterling Shepard. The only thing that I can count on, they say there's 2 things that only can count off in life is death and taxes. I'm going to add a third thing and say Sterling Shepard getting hurt. Those are the 3 things you can count on in life: death, taxes, and Sterling Shepard getting hurt. He's at the tail end of his career, multitudes of injuries. Like I said, he's a good Giant, but I think it was time to move on. What's up, Hirsch, for real? Everything's going really good. Timothy says, should the Giants select Hyatt at 57 from Tennessee in the second round? I think Hyatt's going to go early in the second. I don't think he's going to go in the first. I think he's going to go early in the second. I think he's going to go within the first. I think he's going to go between 33 and 45, maybe 40. Between 33 and 40. So that's why I said I think maybe the Giants trade down. Oh, we got Greg coming in strong saying lower wages pickup that could possibly pay off. I'm optimistic. You still need to draft well. No matter what you do in free agency, you need to draft well. You need to draft well. That's what you have to do. Last year's draft, You know, if you want to be honest and fully grade it for the entire season, it's probably about a C. Vis-a-vis injuries, vis-a-vis the fact that Kayvon Thibodeau didn't pick up his game till the end of the year. Evan Neal struggled. Wandale Robinson got hurt. Daniel Bellinger, what do I call him? Daniel Bellinger played well at times, but he also got injured as well. And it's never going to be the force in the middle in reference to catching the ball. So you got to look at it, you got to look at it realistically as a C. Now you have to wait and see what it does their sophomore year before we say anything. But you're still going to need to draft well, Greg, 100%. Greg says, get it right. Smash the like. Bobby is a tackling machine. I think he is a tackling machine. He actually has a very good technique. He actually is, if you ever watch him play, and I watched a lot of his film, squares up nicely with his shoulders, keeps his head up, wraps up, drives with his legs, does everything you're supposed to do when you're textbook tackler. Clear sangria, says Mr. McCormick. I only drank red and yellow. Well, sangria is clear in our house because of the fact that there's just so much alcohol in it. And I actually meant yellow sangria, white wine sangria. Well, it's still kind of clear to me. That's the way that's the way my wife makes it. Joe is collecting receivers and seeing. I do think that's what he's doing, Mike Lee. I think he's kind of just doing this thing where he's gonna get as many guys as he can, throw them up on the wall, and try to make those tough decisions, the day before training camp ends, so he can get under, the 50. You get out his 53 man and get under the salary cap. Because like right now, people that seem to forget, they're like, well, he's got $3 million in cap space. He's got $3 million in cap space with the rule of 51. He needs 3.1 to sign his rookie class, his receivers. He's got a 10.8 rookie allotment. Now that 3.1 is only good until, wait for it, the rule of 51 expires. So Joe has got some work to do. Mr. Belford, now I see you, Mr. Belford. We gave you the.
I'm Johnny Wishbone, psychic extraordinaire. If you need me, just think Johnny Wishbone, and I come running.
That's for Mr. Belford. That's a 2 for 2, Mr. Belford. T-Brad, keep shaking the mic today, the camera today. T-Brad says 50 people likes. How many likes? Hit the button, or your mother is not a nice person. Hey-oh. Oh, the T-Brad, always shilling. Herschel Real says Joe Tipperman, the center in the second round to be fortify the offense line. The Giants are going to have to find a center. Nick Gates getting $18 million from Washington was a gift to the Giants because I like Nick Gates, but I just think he had one season at center. I think, like we've said it before, I think the mind's eye kind of gets clouded as distance comes from years past. Nick Gates, while he played well at times at center, he also had some tremendous issues. I've said it before. I've never seen a center in my life watching football for all the years I have that actually had the nose tackle in almost a headlock, like from behind, like he was giving him the Heimlich maneuver. I've never seen that before. And Nick Gates had more holding penalties that year than I've ever seen a center get. Centers usually rarely get holding penalties because they're in the middle of the line. They can get away with a lot of stuff. But he had like 4 holding penalties. So, I think his natural position is more of a guard. I don't think he's ever going to be quite the player he was or was projecting to be. But like I said, you gotta wish him well in Washington. Jake says, any more Hopkins talk, or are we actively doing? We're not going after Odell. We're not going after Hopkins. We're not going after Odell. Odell is saying that he never said that he didn't want 20 million, but he's saying he doesn't want 4 million. He wants his cash. He wants to get paid. He's using the Giant fan base to beat a drum that is never going to happen. If Shane gets Odell, it's then saying that he is winning now. Everything he has said before is out the window. The building block thing is out the window. You're not also going to get a 30-plus-year-old wide receiver who's had 2 major injuries in 3 years and give him big money, give him guaranteed money. And Odell's going to want guaranteed money because this is the last big contract of his career, allegedly. It's just, you see all this talk and it's just like, it's not going to happen. Just, let it go. Just let it go. Let it go. Shepard's going to be a player coach. He should be just a coach. He really should just be a coach. He should be like Davis Webb, who then where did he go? He went to where did Davis Webb go to? He went to Denver, was it, to be the quarterback's coach? I thought he really was going to be the quarterback coach here. I really thought that would have been a good fit for the Giants, him staying and being the quarterback coach for Daniel Jones. I think Daniel Jones needs that. I think he needs that consistency. I think when you took Eli Manning away from him, he lost his security blanket. You brought Davis Webb back in, who knows the system, who's basically a coach on the field. He had that security blanket again. Then you took it away from him again. So I'm kind of curious to see that. Orlando says, I give Shane a little of a pass for last year's draft because it wasn't his scouts in place. But why is he building the roster currently? He better not miss moving forward. He shouldn't miss moving forward. And I don't give him a pass. Joe Shane had plenty of time to fire the coaching staff. The scouting staff, his evaluators, and bring new evaluators in before the draft. He had time. He just didn't want to break up the continuity. I also think it might have been a little bit of a Mara thing. But there's still Shane's guys. At the end of the day, the general manager makes the selection. So I'm not gonna give up. I'm not gonna give a pass on that one. Gigaspan said quality or quantity over quality for receivers. Sad to see versus our division, who have studs at left and right. I worry more about the defensive backfields in our division for two teams, of course, with Bradbury and Slay. And also you're now going to have, what's his name? Gilmore and the Stephon Gilmore and the other guy who I can never remember his name on the other side. So I worry more about that talent going up against our talent. Cause I think we saw quite extensively in that last Philadelphia playoff game that our wide receivers were going to be no match when you ran into a stellar secondary. And the Eagles last year had a stellar secondary. Yes, Slade dropped off the last 7 games. Bradbury played consistently the entire season. So you got to play these guys, I'm not going to talk about Washington. You got to play these guys, 4 times. So it's gonna get interesting. Talk with Zoe said the Giants might draft a center first round. I don't think you're gonna draft center first round. I forgot we did the stat. I think it was like 2 centers over the last 20 drafts that went in the first round. It's not a unless it's going to be like Dwight Stevenson or something like that. You're going to get a Hall of Famer. It's not a first round quality position unless it's going to be someone that's going to be alters the perception of the game and everything else. So it's going to kind of be interesting. Let's see. You want what do you want? Kevin wants thoughts on if he's available at 25. I don't really have a thought on that. I haven't even thought about that one. I haven't thought about that yet. To be perfect, I haven't thought about him yet. I'll have to let me do a little research on that. Give me my thought process that way, Larry. Stu says, good morning. Timothy Hirsch for what's going on with you, Stu? Good morning. I think they will go wide receiver, a corner first. I do like Cam Smith. Like I said, I do like Hyatt. I did a video where I like Trenton Simpson as well because of the fact that I like the thought process of moving him to the outside linebacker position and kind of pairing him up with Kayvon Thibodeau on the right side. You will have a steep learning curve with those two guys because of the fact that they're going to have to learn how to play with each other.
That's what she said.
I had to. Because of the fact that you need them. One of the biggest issues we had besides getting gashed in the interior line was off tackle. And we need to find a way to have these guys understand the role of containment on the run and push the running plays back into the middle, which should be the strength of our defense between Dexter Lawrence and Leonard Williams. It should be the strength of our defense. So if they can figure out a way to hold and maintain the edge and push the play back into the center of the field, I think they're both athletic enough to do that. ECK Sports says, I think we're going to go with wide receiver by committee and a number one option at tight end, just like the Chiefs did this past year. Large wide rotations, Warren, and the number one option at tight end. We might not have a real number one. Here's the problem with that theory, and there's only one problem with that theory. It's not a bad theory. It's a very good theory. There's only one problem. We don't have Patrick Mahomes. We've talked about this before. Certain quarterbacks make wide receivers better. Eli Manning did that. We've pointed out that Eli Manning in his career, anytime a wide receiver's ever left him, they did not continue to excel, or they fell off the face of the planet. Certain quarterbacks make wide receivers better. You have Patrick Mahomes, that's making your wide receivers better. So that's the one flaw in the plan. Glenn says, "Lo, my YouTube just automatically brings me here to some real human channel." Well, Glenn, I'm glad it automatically does it. Glad to be paying off those people over at YouTube to do that. That's what you have to do. ACK says interior alignment quarterback in the first 2 rounds. Yeah, I agree. I think you've been going so defensive heavy in reference to the line and the linebackers and everything else in this free agency. You figure you're going to have to go offensive line. I get concerned, and this is one of my concerns, besides like alien invasions and acid rain, that the Giants are going to do what they did a couple years ago with Joe Shane, and they'll look at the roster of the players that they have on the line and say, we're good with these guys. We can mature and maturate these guys into players. It doesn't work out all the time. It didn't work out that year either. So my concern is they may be looking at the depth on their roster and saying, maybe we can do something with these guys. And I just think you really are going to need some guys. Shepard is good when he's on the field. Yeah. That's like saying that, death is bad when somebody dies. Yeah, but he's not on the field. That's the problem. Yes, Webb went to Denver. Thank you, Mike Lee. I wasn't sure. Vinny G in his house line. We got all those wide receivers now. Why did we re-sign Darius Slayton? No, the wide receiver signing Darius Slayton makes plenty of sense. Makes plenty of sense because of the fact that he is a competent number 2 on a good team. He shouldn't be placed in that number 1 option. But if you look at what he has done, he is a competent number 2. He's a guy with speed. He's a guy that can stretch the field. The problem is, like I said, we have to go with that keyword in Webster's, vertical. So make sure that he is actually being used properly. With the alleged dearth of talent we had last year at wide receiver, it made no sense not to play Darius Slayton. So this year, I think they figured out after last year, we're going to put Darius in there and look, good things happen when Darius is on the field. Darius broke some nice plays for the Giants last year. You got to tell him that. It's you all, like I said, not everyone you draft, not everyone you sign, not everyone you bring in is going to be a number 1. Darius is a good, solid number 2. He's a number 2 to a number 3 on a good team, a really good team, but he's a good player for the Giants. He's a good fit. Hurts for real. Slayton is like the building, and he stretches the field. You're right, 100%. Rick says all these wide receivers, key is a depth, never enough ESP last year. Don't want to get down to 3rd stringers again, man. Injuries happen. You never know when injuries going to occur. And we've said this a million times before. Bad teams use it as a crutch. Injuries, good team, just man up and go to the next man. So I've always hated that, because, you have to play. The games are played no matter what. If someone's injured, someone's hurt, the games come every Sunday or Thursday or Friday or Monday or sometimes Saturday now. So many different times to bring the game in. Let's see here. Slayton Slayton did take a pay cut. Well, the freight is the thing with Slayton is he didn't really take a pay cut. I thought he was worth about $6 million. I thought some people had him rated a little higher. I figured he was around $5.5 to $6 million. Because of his production and what he does. Orlando says, Tim, I saw your tweet last night when we are getting the king of the offseason drill soundbite. Oh my God. You know what? This is the kinder, gentler Tim. So, except on Twitter. Daniel Jones is working at the quarterback school. And you have so many Giant fans that are watching these drills going, oh, look at that drill. Look at him throw the ball. I look at it and say, you got to do it on the field when there's actually players around you. You could look wonderful in drills as much as you want. I can throw the ball 45 yards. That doesn't mean I can play in the NFL. I can throw the ball. I can drop. I still got a good arm strength, but that has to translate onto the field. I mean, I just think it's funny. ACK says it's going to be a wide receiver by committee with Waller at number 1. Probably. I agree. Let's see. Timothy says, should the Giants trade the 57th pick to the Saints for the 40th pick and select Hyatt 40th overall from the Saints in the second round? Well, you're going to have to give them more than the 57th pick to go up to 40. You're going to have to give them another draft choice. You can't, I mean, I like the idea. It just doesn't make any sense. Mike Lee says, thoughts on Joe drafting Hooker as a backup? There's the thing. Teams have a certain number of top 30 visits for players. And actually it's interesting that Hendon Hooker is on the Giants list as one of their top 30 players to come to have visits. So I do think that's interesting. Like I said, some people are scared off being 25 years old. Some people are scared off by the ACL injury. I think, like I said, I think he's a guy that you want to sit him a year. Here's the problem, though. You have Daniel Jones for 2 years, no matter what. You got that $40 million hit next year. You have the year 3. You have I think like $19 million in dead cap space if you cut him. So Hooker may potentially have to sit 2 years because I don't see Joe Shane or Brian Dable if Daniel Jones has a poor year this year. I don't see them sitting down a $40 million quarterback where all that money's pretty much guaranteed because it's like 18.5%. That salary is like 18.5% of the salary cap. Yes, and we will have an ungodly amount of money next year if we don't start pushing out money and we get rid of some of these contracts. And that's why I don't think they're going to bring back Leonard Williams. I don't think they're going to restructure Leonard. I don't think they're going to move anything around. Leonard still has that dead cap number in 2024 when he won't even be on the roster. So I don't think Shane wants to get into that game because of the fact that you look at the Chicago Bears. Chicago Bears have a lot of pieces, but they don't have a lot of talent. And now that they had the most amount of cap space, are bringing in more talent. Now if Ryan Poles drafts well, Chicago Bears could have a very interesting team next year. Glenn says this team will be great. We have, you might, like I said, we got to wait and see. Can Daniel Jones take a giant leap this year? You're paying this guy $90 million, basically guaranteed. I've said this before. The training wheels are got to come off. Good. I said this in the video before the Minnesota playoff game. Did a whole video about it. I said, good, bad, or indifferent, you gotta let the peacock fly with Daniel Jones because of the fact that you have to see what he has, because of the fact that if you don't, you're not going to know what you're going to have at all going into next year. And Minnesota has such a porous defense that if you didn't let,
you can't keep me cooped up in here, okay? I am a peacock. You gotta let me fly.
If you don't let the peacock fly, you're never going to know what you had. So Daniel Jones this year, right now, has no more excuses. You brought back Saquon Barkley. You've fixed you're fixing the wide receiver core. You fixed the tight end position. If he doesn't have at least 4,000 yards, 35 touchdowns, I'll take 10, 15 interceptions. Because if you have 10, 15 interceptions, that means he's throwing the ball deep. He's going to need to complete at least 65% of his passes. Probably he's going to need to run for at least 400. The league's going to shut him down. I'm going to tell you right this, guys. He's going to have to throw because the league is going to shut him down next year on the run. Daniel Jones is not a running quarterback. Daniel Jones is not a scrambling quarterback. Daniel Jones is a quarterback who has some speed that runs by design. He does not have the pocket fluidity to understand that. And so the defenses now, like I said, you get an extra year of film on what they did last year. The league is going to figure out, hey, listen, we're not going to let him beat him with his legs, which they did the last couple of weeks. We're not going to let him beat him. We're going to make him throw. And now Shane has turned around and has given him the weapons and the wherewithal right now to try to make those throws. Dale said, do you think Wan'Dale's open up the season? I think Wan'Dale's going to be on the pup until probably like maybe week 3 or 4, even then. So I don't see him coming into more than a quarter of the season is done. Everyone knows I'm not a Wan'Dale Robinson fan. I said it during the draft that if you watched his play at Kentucky, yes, he had explosiveness at times, but he also got pulled down behind by a lot, and he didn't know how to protect himself on the field. And I said it straight up. I said during the draft, you can go watch it. I said that if he doesn't learn to protect himself on the field, he's not going to survive his first NFL game, which he didn't. And then I even said a couple weeks after that, if he does not learn to protect himself on the field, he is not going to survive the season. And again, he didn't. Because you could see these things about certain players. Certain players know how to protect their bodies on the field. And Wan'Dale has not learned that yet. And he's going to need to learn it quick because when you're his size, the most important thing you need to do is have the ability to protect yourself on the field and vis-a-vis not cause yourself injuries. So we have to kind of wait and just see. What does Patty say? Can we please get a really good center? Been a while since we had one. Richburg was probably the last really good center we had. Not great. Second rounder, I believe. And unless you're going to go back to Bart Oates. That's my favorite series. I like Brandon Cook. He's a good receiver. Will help Dax out a lot. Let's go Cowboys. The Cowboys are making some moves. I would still not be shocked if Odell did not end up in Dallas. I will tell you this, and I've said this before. I keep thinking Odell's going to Kansas City. I've talked to some people, and some people have said the same thing, that Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, everything, everything that's going on there, that culture could take on the personality of an Odell Beckham Jr. and not even flinch. And I just have this feeling. I just have this feeling he's going to go to Kansas City. Hurst for Real says Daniel Jones needs to take a bigger giant leap forward. That's the new CCP under Mao. He does. He's got to move forward. That's it. Darius is the number 3 on this team. Well, wide receiver or option? Wide receiver, no, he's number 2 on this team. Option, I would still put. I would put option. I would put right now Waller, Barkley, and then Darius. If I'm, and then I would go. I would then go probably Paris Campbell, and then Al. All others. Let's see. I am confused. What are you confused about? Is it Cool Hand Shane or the guy that's awful and going to get fired because of DJ Deal? He might get fired. Here's the problem. And I've said this a million times, Richie. You in the NFL, you don't get many opportunities. And you don't get many opportunities as a general manager to select your quarterback, your guy. If you turn around and give Daniel Jones this money and he fails, Shane's getting fired. There's no ifs, ands, or buts because Shane will be 4 years into his giant career. If Daniel Jones fails, we won't be in the playoffs because his team is going to be built for him. If he swings and misses, he's getting canned. There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt in my mind because that's just the way the NFL is. That's just the way it is realistically. And they're not going to say to him 4 years into his regime of a 5-year contract, hey, listen, why don't you draft us a quarterback because you have been so good on your talent evaluation with the quarterback you had. The moment DJ signature hit that ink hit that paper on that contract, that became Joe Shane's and Brian Dable's quarterback. That became their selection. So good, bad, or indifferent. You can like Jones or you could hate Jones. That's their guy now. There's no, you gave him $90 million guaranteed. That's your guy. So if you don't win with your guy, you're not going to get a second chance to draft a quarterback unless he takes a quarterback this year. If he takes a Hendon Hooker this year and Jones flames out this year, he can say, well, I have my guy on the roster. But if you go into year 3 of this contract and you are 4 years into Joe Shane's career and you only made the playoff once and Daniel Jones has not turned the corner and become that guy, you're getting fired. It's just life. It's just the NFL. Talk with Zoe. For those that don't know, Talk with Zoe. Talk with Zoe is a up-and-coming New York Giants YouTuber. Realistically, it might be corner or a wide receiver. At this point, do you just go with best player available? I go with best player available. I do. Because of the fact that the Giants still have so many different holes, even with the moves they're making outside of, if you have Barkley and Waller, those are probably your most solidified people on the offense, and Andrew Thomas, of course. But like I said, I would go either wide receiver. My theory was this. I did the video. Trade out of the first round, get out of that first round cap money. Yes, you lose the 5th-year option. Go into the upper first half of the second round. Take someone like Hyatt and then go and grab someone like Cam Smith at 57. So you can hopefully get 2 quality players on the second round contracts. Yes, you lose the 5th-year option, but you save on that cap space. I do have this feeling that Shane is going to move out of that first round pick. Kevin says, let's see, FYI, Jackson Smith was the leading receiver of the Buckeyes when they had and the other studs. You're right. I know who he is. I just haven't done a lot of work, to be honest, Kevin. Certain players I haven't done a lot of work on yet. You say Campbell, Hodges, Wandale, Slayton, Shepard. Honestly, you could agree for any of these guys to be number 1. Paris Campbell has had 1 good year his entire career and has been injured every season prior to that. Hodgkins, we don't know yet. We don't know what he is yet. You have to have an entire career. I've seen plenty of wide receivers have a great 6-7 games and then flame out. Wandale's hurt. You don't know when he's coming back. Slayton at 4? No, Slayton's at 2. And I'm going, like I said, if it's me, I'm going, because I'm basically going to count Waller as a wide receiver. Because he's not going to give you a lot on the blocking portion of it. So I'm counting him as a wide receiver. I'm counting kind of like an Evan Ingram type. I'm actually going him. If you're going options, I'm going Waller, I'm going Barkley, I'm going Shepard, and then I'm going to go Hodgkins probably. No, I'm going to go Paris Campbell. And then the rest from there. Waller is the best receiver. No, talking wide, but you can't talk wide receivers because the Giants aren't just built on wide receivers the way this offense is going to be built. So, and I'm going to tell you this: you may see Waller lining up in the slot. It's going to be interesting the way that they use them. Glenn says, we will be good, and the defense just needs a corner, free safety, middle linebacker, and rusher, and our offense is going to take off. The kick gloves on the quarterback. If the quarterback can't play, make it the Giants. It could be great to work with. And like I said, I'm just saying this. At the end of the day, and I've said this a bazillion times, you could love Daniel Jones, you could hate Daniel Jones. You could love the signing, you could hate the signing. You could think he's overpaid at $90 million guaranteed. You could think he's underpaid. All I'm saying is this: he is Joe Schoen's and Brian Daboll's quarterback now. He's not Gettleman's quarterback anymore. He is Joe Schoen and Brian Daboll's quarterback. That's it. So they are. Sometimes you live by the sword, you die by the sword. So we have to kind of wait to make sure. Hey, we have 150 something people in this room. Why don't we try to get those likes up? I think we're only at 39 likes. Come on, people. It's 140 likes. Come on, people. Let's get up to like 60 likes. You know what I may be giving away today? I was thinking about this. I might give this away. Let's see here. This is because as we all know, New York Giants Trade Talk is now proudly sponsored by Mint Mobile. I have a free 7-day trial SIM card for Mint Mobile. It's free, and it's not only do you get the SIM card, but you also get the little doohickey things that go in. I think I'm going to give this away today. It's free to try the service. You just plug it into any phone. Like I said, it's free for 7 days. And what do you get? With your free days, you get 250 megs of internet, 250 text message, and 250 minutes of talk. So you can try out the service for free. It's actually, like I said, it's pretty good. I like Mint Mobile. I actually switched over all my phones to Mint Mobile. Let's see here. Did they sign someone else new? No, not yet, but I'm saying we could be doing it. Matthew, what's going on? How you doing, my brother? Hope all is well. Giants making moves. Do you think they will be able to overtake the Eagles? No. No, because the Eagles are making moves too. Everyone's making moves. We have to legitimately think about the fact that the Eagles are at least 2 levels above us. And that's just the way it is. And they're bringing a lot of guys back. So as the Giants are running it back this year with a lot of their players, so are the Eagles. So right now, no, the Eagles are still better than the Giants. We have to wait and see what the draft does. We got to see what the Giants do in the draft first. The good news is, this is the good news, that now that it's over, free agency's not over, but now free agency's underway, we can now watch the 9,487 million draft videos of the mock drafts. I love mock draft videos before free agency. I truly do love it because there's no possible way you could do a mock draft video before free agency. But I see like 9,487 of them through my queue. And I'm like, how the hell do you do a mock draft video without even knowing what you're doing in free agency? I believe the free agency plan dictated now what the Giants are going to do in the draft. But that's just me. What do I know? Jose G said, so thoughts on the wide receiver, the SMU wide receiver, I hear good things about him as well. I still, like I said, if I had, like, Devontae Smith was my guy a couple years ago. I think Hyatt's my guy. He's slight of build, and I wish, like I said, and I don't think his frame is going to add on anymore. But I do think there's something about him. He's a 4.4 speed. He's going to stretch the field, and I do think he could fit in. He could fit extremely well into what Kafka and Daboll want to do. Mr. Bruce says, if Jones doesn't perform the way we expect him to, this is the bust, or did he simply not live up to our over expectations for him? Love the show, Tim. Let's hope for the best. You draft someone at 6th overall. You basically give them 4 years of carte blanche. And 2.5 of those years, you pretty much did not perform up to expectations. You're getting a year 5 and a year 6. If he doesn't perform now, it's not that he was a bust vis-a-vis over expectations. It was a bust because of the fact that he didn't perform on the field. So, I mean, we just have to wait. We just have to wait and see. What does Gigas Man says? Do you think that Daboll and Joe wanted our identity to be? I still think this, even though they're going heavy wide receiver, I think they want to play good defense. They're shoring up the ability to stop the run. because that is one of their biggest Achilles heels. I think they're still going to run the offense through Saquon Barkley, but I do think that they're going to try to open it up a little bit in the middle of the field with Waller, and I do think they're going to try to get an outside presence, and on the wide receiver position and try to move that way as well. So I think their identity is going to be defense. You know what? Giants of yore have always run the ball and played exceptional defense. We've always played exceptional defense. So I think that's what they're going to win. They're going to try to win the Giant way. Joking here. Wandale will be mentored by Shepard. I can see that. Hurts for real. Mike Lee also says 2 years does compress Hooker's timeline. No fifth-year option. Joe will have getting his guy. I still think Mara has. I personally think that Mara did have and probably when you're the owner and you're giving up that kind of money, yeah, he had a say in the deal. I do. And I think he's got that Eli Manning thing with him when he overpaid Eli Manning on that second year. Thank you for the super chat. Super chats go to the Philadelphia Children's Hospitals, Mr. Belfort. If Bobby can hit the running back in the backfield like the water boy Bobby Boucher, I'm gonna change his name. If he hits the back, if he turns into the water boy, if he turns into Bobby Boucher, the venerable Bobby Boucher, I will come up with a new Bobby Boucher sound effect for him. I will make that commitment right now. I like the way you move. Let me see. Where was I? I think for the super chat to go to the Philadelphia Children's Hospital. Let's see. We got her talk with Zoe said if he fails, can't they use DJ as a bridge next year while the rookie sits, considering they drafted a rookie? Well, here's the problem. This is the interesting problem with this. Let's say he fails this year, and let's say he has an average season like he had in 2022 and 2024. Are you then going to sit there and say, hey, wait a minute, he just had a bad year in 2023? We could be stuck with Daniel Jones for the next 30 years. Think about that. It boggles the mind. Let's see here. Mike Lee says, but no way of knowing unless someone talks, but you never. Yeah, no one's going to talk. No one's going to say anything. Nick Cruz says, trade back, pick up Trenton Simpson, please. I already said that, Nate. I did an entire video about that, trading out of the first round, picking up Trent Simpson and Cam Smith. And I think that's the way to go. I do. Let's see here. How is this team better than San Francisco? I don't think we're better than San Francisco. San Francisco right now has an issue at quarterback. You're going to go with Trey Lance. You know, you don't know. You don't know what exactly is going to go on with San. I left my heart in San Francisco or San Diego. I don't remember what it was. Jose G says, got to draft a center. There are literally 3 good centers. Patterson from Notre Dame was the other center until last year when he was shifted to left guard. It should be available in the 4th round. I like the kid from Notre Dame on Notre Dame. I don't think that would be a bad pickup whatsoever. I think it would be a good pickup. I do think that. We need to win the division. We do need to win division. Your goal should always be to win the division, make the playoffs, win the Super Bowl. That should always be your goal in life. Dale Parker says, I feel like our wife's receiving core is underrated. I don't think my wife has a receiving core. Hodgkins could drastically go 8-9 touchdowns next year with Clayton and Sample, the speed, Waller double teams. Hodgkins could feast this year. I don't know yet. Like I said, there's too small of a sample. I've seen too many players who've excelled in a short period of time in watching the NFL who disappear the next year. I'm still waiting for the dangerous David Sills to make his presence known. We have to wait and see. And that's the only thing, Dale. I'm not making fun of you, Dale. We just have to wait and see. Glenn says, we'll be smart and draft a quarterback. Hope he drafts a quarterback when we will need that. I do think he still takes a quarterback this year. I don't know if it's going to be within the top. I don't think it's going to be top 3 or 4. We might take one in the, going into the 5th, 6th round, but I still think he takes a quarterback this year. Joe Rev says, Taylor, I'm not sold on Waller. 8-year career, 2 good year, older player with an injury prone. Maybe the Raiders know something we didn't know. The Raiders know that he's been hurt for 2 years. The Raiders knows they gave him the largest tight end contract ever, and then he got hurt. I think the Raiders understand he's on the wrong side of the 30. He's had some issues in the league prior to that over with Baltimore. I know people don't want to talk about it, but I don't want to break the news to everyone. I don't want to break the news to somebody, some of the kiddies here. But if you are always a recovering addict, you're never healed. It's not like you going and getting chemo for cancer and being healed. It doesn't work that way. And addicts will tell you you're always a recovering addict. So that's always something that has to be in the back of your mind. You take a look at Josh Gordon. You take a look at Stanley Wilson. He flamed out in the Super Bowl because of drugs. You have to look at these things. Happy, humble, hungry. Yo, Tim, I love you, bro. Love you too, man. I love everybody. This is the kinder, gentler Tim. This is the New York Giants straight talk, Tim. Sponsored by Mint Mobile. Ryan Reynolds called me. That's what happened. I'm sitting there, minding my own business. My phone rings. It's Ryan Reynolds. He says, Tim, I want you to be I want to partner with you and you for Mint Mobile. I said no. I didn't like the Green Lantern. I hope Bobby can hit the running back and back to like, oh yeah, that was the other one for like Bobby. You can do it. Oh no, wait, where's that one at? Oh no, we suck again. Oh my god. And I was just joking about what's his name? Ryan Reynolds. Where is it? I got Johnny Wishbone. Where oh, here we go.
You can do it! Oh no! We suck again!
Let's make sure we get up to 60 likes, guys. Come on, let's hit that like button. Denny says, I love Hyatt as well, but if he's selected, what is your backup plan at wide receiver? I'm probably going to try to pick up someone later in the draft. I don't know whom yet because I haven't gone through all my drafting because we're just finishing up free agency. Or I'm going to roll with the guys I have. I'm going to roll with the guys I got. What do we got here? So Christian said, hey, Hyatt is my number one. The game speed along with Barkley. That's what I keep saying, Christian. The game speed he has, you put that out on the outside. You then have Waller in the middle, and then you have Saquon Barkley. It is good. It would be a nightmare matchup. And then you still have Paris Campbell and Darius Slayton. You have those. You have, think about this. Think about this for a second. You have Hyatt on one side, Slayton on one side, Paris Campbell in the slot, Waller in tight end, and then you have Saquon Barkley in the backfield. Great balls of fire. Which way are you going to go? Where are you going to go? Because you want to know. Who are you going to cover? And that's what I think we need to think about. Who are you going to cover? Who are you going to?
I feel the need for speed.
You got all these guys. You are going to have an extremely strong secondary to cover it if you get someone on that is a true number one, a true speedster on the outside. But then again, it also kind of falls back into the question is Daniel Jones going to make that step? OG says we have to get a number one wideout now that we paid Daniel Jones. It only makes sense. You're right. It only makes sense. Like I said, I don't care if you love Daniel Jones. I don't care if you hate Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones for the next 2 years, your guy no matter what. If he throws for 2,800 yards, 15 touchdowns, 30 interceptions this year, he's going to be your guy next year. $40 million, guaranteed, untradeable. You're not going to let him sit there and eat up 18.7% of the cap space. You are going to throw him out there. That's all there is to it. Jose G says, my concern with Hyatt is that he's similar to Darius, which we gave. Well, he's similar. Darius is bigger in reference to frame, but he's got more speed than Darius. He has more of ability, and he's actually got, and it's going back to college. And once I've said that, once you leave college is over. So what you've done in college doesn't matter what you're going to do in the pros. He's got better hands right now. If you watch what he did in college than Darius has now. But that could change. Right now, great point. Right about which there does anyone remember Miles Austin? What's his name? What was the kid Clayton? Was it Michael Clayton in Tampa? Had the one. He was on the Giants in 2007. He had the 1,000-yard receiver as a rookie, 1,000 yards receiving, fell off the face of the planet, became a special teams player, won a ring with the Giants. Let's see. I believe Dable wants Slayton Shepard to be a Giants coach eventually. You know what? I don't disagree with that. And honestly, if he wants him to be a coach, sign him as a coach. I don't need him eating a roster spot. I don't need him eating cap space. You come off an you come off an Achilles, you tear your ACL, and then you're going to come back again? I've said this before, and it's interesting. And we had a long conversation with it about it the other day. Achilles injuries are terrible, no matter what. Terrible, no matter what. And as you get to be an older player, and an Achilles injury is not a turf injury; it's a repetitive stress injury on the tendon. It's not a turf injury. But if you ever noticed, a lot of players that have an ACL one year, an Achilles one year, the next year they come back and tear their ACL. Just go look at the history of that. And of course, the Giants, just tore up the turf. I posted it on Twitter. They're getting their new turf in, so they actually just tore up the turf. Better fix the interior of the line. It's bad enough Jones or who he is. Don't fix these issues. Nothing will change. May get worse if we're expecting him to start throwing it all over the field. You're going to have to fix the line, but again, like I said, you're going to have to find someone to catch the ball. Let's get up to 70. Like we're at 60 right now. You're gonna have to figure that out. We're gonna do I'm gonna get back to the questions. I got some stuff I gotta do. We're gonna give away this. Want your friends to save a ton of money? I'm gonna give away this Mint Mobile SIM card, which gives you a 7-day trial on Mint Mobile. It has the SIM card as the PIN. All you have to do is go and activate the SIM card either vis-a-vis their website or the app. I'm going to give this away. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a trivia question. We're going to do a giant trivia question. And let's see here. We're going to do a giant trivia question, and you will get the Mint Mobile SIM card, 7-day free trial. Are we ready for the trivia question right now? We are going to make this an easy trivia question. We're going to make this a very easy trivia question. Everyone knows that Phil Simms is my favorite player. To protect number one, don't worry about it. You haven't missed anything yet. Everyone knows that Phil Simms is my favorite New York Giant. Everyone get ready in the chat. Or I should rephrase that. What university did Phil Simms play at before he was picked by the Giants in the 1979 draft? And this is for the free trial of Mint Mobile, 7-day free trial. What college did Phil Simms play at before he was selected by the Giants in 1979? Do 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 do. You can Google it. I don't care. You can Google it. No, it is not South Dakota. What was the school that Phil Simms played at in 1978, before he was drafted by the Giants in 1979? Of course, he is my favorite Giant. And this is for the free Mint Mobile card, Western Kentucky. No, it's not Western Kentucky. It's for the free Mint Mobile card, 7-day free trial of Mint Mobile, largest network that there is. Morehead State. We got ourselves a winner. You ain't got you are the winner. You are the first one that came up on my board. You ain't got these 1008 sneakers are for life. I need you to email me at tim@onlineBigBlue.com. Email me at tim@onlineBigBlue.com. Send me your address, and I will send you out the free trial of Mint Mobile. So you get the free Mint Mobile card. And that is correct. It was Morehead State. It's one word though. But I'm not gonna get picky. So just make sure, like I said, you ain't got these 1008 sneakers are for life. Email me at tim@onlinebigblue'com, tim@onlinebigblue'com, and you will get your free Mint Mobile card. Also, that just so you don't know, it's just so people know, we're doing a little housekeeping here. We're revamping the Online Big Blue OG membership. Well, actually, it's the New York Giants Straight Talk OG membership. It's the whatever it's called, where you're a member. You're a member. We only have one level. It's $1.99 a month. It's one level because they wouldn't let me make it for free. You get videos free in advance. You get a lot of other fun stuff. I also pontificate in the chat. But we are going to have a new text number so that if you were an OG member, if you join the OG club, you are going to be able to text me directly your questions, anything you want to talk about Giants, anything Giant related. So you have to subscribe each month. It's $1.99, and with that $1.99, like I said, you get your New York Giants Straight Talk videos in advance. You're also going to get all the other fun stuff that comes with it, and you're going to get the text number that you can text me directly anything you want about the Giants. We'll see how it goes. But we have a good group that's part of the OG membership. So, Marcus, you were close to it. Yeah, Marcus got it right. Is Moorhead is one word, but it is Moorhead State. It is actually technically Moorhead State. 1978, Moorhead State, the New York Giants. I still love it.
With the first selection, the New York Giants select quarterback Phil Simms, Moorhead State.
I love that Peter Rozelle film because everyone's like, oh, who? This was like I said, this was the day before the internet, so this made it even worse. I think we're gonna get ready to wrap this up today. We didn't hit 70 likes, but I just wanted to jump on the mic for an hour because I got a bunch. It's a Sunday. I think it's a Sunday. It's a fun day. We're gonna have some videos coming out next week. I think we have one video next week scheduled. And it'll be fun. It'll be a good time. I don't know what the topic is yet. We've been working on multitudes of topics. And if you want to be on the mic, if you want to jump on the mic segment for 10 minutes, you come on one of our shows and talk and pontificate anything you want. If you want to do that, just email me at tim@onlineBigBlue.com. Again, email me at tim@onlineBigBlue.com, and you can come on the mic. We'll have you on the show. You don't have to be on camera if you don't want to be. You can just use your audio. It's fine. Most people want to be on the camera. And you just come on and you get to take over the show for 10 minutes and just talk anything you want. Giants, you could interview me. You could just ramble for 10 minutes about the Giants. You could do whatever you want. But like I said, if you want to jump on the mic, that's tim@onlineBigBlue.com, tim@onlineBigBlue.com. It is now, we've just looked at it. It's now the witching hour. It's 11:31 in the AM. We're going to end this segment with bringing in a little bit old school. We're going to play some Kashmir. Sorry, I was just going back to, I always want to be a radio guy. Anyone else have anything fun to say before I clear this out and we move on? Anything? Bueller. We had a good conversation today. We had a good talk today. I'm glad everyone was able to stop in and drop by. We'll do this. We're going to be doing the Sunday Giant Sunday every Sunday. We're going to bring back R0B next week to help pontificate for the show. He did a really good job co-hosting, so we're going to bring him back next week, give him another shot on the mic with the next Sunday show. And again, like I said, guys, it's we have to wait and see what the draft holds. We have to wait and see what we're going to do. We have to look at this in a forwarding direction, and we kind of have to just play it out a little bit and see what Shane has to do and see what Shane has to offer. And like I said, Shane, I was trying to type it out fast. I'm sorry, Marcus. If you want, you can go and you can go to Mint Mobile and go to mintmobile.com/bigblue, and you can actually sign up, and they're giving a discount if you sign up using that link. That's mintmobile.com/bigblue. You get a discount. And it's really cool though, because they have like the cheapest plan is like $15, and it's like $45 for 3 months worth of service. It's freaking crazy. And it's actually I have Verizon, man, and I know they run on T-Mobile, but I was doing a speed test between my two phones, and T-Mobile kicked Verizon's ass left and right. I didn't know that. I was way overpaying. I was paying like $167 on freaking Verizon. It's nuts. But like I said, we're gonna have a lot of fun next week. If you like I said, if you want to come on the mic, it's tim@onlineBigBlue.com. Make sure you just sit there and send me when you want to come on. You don't even have to tell me what you want to talk about. If you have anything you want to talk about, we're probably going to do another live stream. Like I said, Sunday will be the next one. We're going to have to wait and see what Joe Shane's going to do. We're going to close this out. And again, everybody, this is Tim. This is Online Big Blue. This is New York Giants Straight Talk. Thanks, Mark Sivan. We got the big LJ again. They're dropping in saying, cook the Cowboys, and we're out of here.